Welcome back to NPS Now. I'm Steve Suttmiller, Senior Coordinator of Athletics. Today we have a few things to talk about. We're going to talk about middle school basketball championships, but first we have two athletic trainers from Norfolk Public Schools, and we're going to talk about athletic training. And this month is National Athletic Training Month, so we thought it would be appropriate to highlight athletic training in the school system. We have Mollie-Jean Burgess from Centera. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
You've been here before. And we have Brice Snyder, the head athletic trainer at Booker T. Washington High School. Brice, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
All right, we're going to start with you, Mollie.
Okay.
Talk about athletic training. What is an athletic trainer?
An athletic trainer is a licensed healthcare professional. All athletic trainers are nationally board certified. They all have at least a minimum degree of 2-year or 4-year degree. There are several different programs, but each state has its own licensing requirements. In Virginia, the Board of Medicine governs that.
All right, Brice, she mentions a couple different ways how athletic trainers are used. Talk about your situation and how you're involved with the Norfolk Public Schools.
Yeah, so being a master's student at Old Dominion, we are graduate assistants for the Norfolk Public Schools. Booker T. Washington, Norview, Lake Taylor, and Granby all have graduate assistants. And we are here for 2 years. We work full-time, basically, from July preseason all the way to the end of our spring seasons. And we do a 2-year rotation, if you will. After 2 years are up and we graduate from Old Dominion, the new students who come in take over.
Okay, so that's the way we do it. What are other ways that athletic training can be used at the high school level, Mollie?
Well, I work for Centera, and I also graduated from the Old Dominion program, but upon graduation I was hired by Centera and they outsourced me to Norfolk Public Schools. So I am around the middle schools and the high schools just to provide athletic training services as needed.
Okay. All right, so you're out in the schools through Centera. That's a great sponsorship, partnership that we have with Centera. We also have Matt Talley, who's the athletic trainer at Maury High School, which Atlantic Orthopedic Specialist sponsors Matt, and we partner with them to provide athletic training. So, all right, Brice, we've stressed that this is National Athletic Training Month. Let's talk about the domains athletic trainers have to possess to be an athletic trainer. So we'll start off with evaluation. Talk a little bit about the evaluation of injuries.
Yeah, so on a daily basis, athletic trainers in Norfolk Public Schools, have a busy, first session of your afternoon. Once school lets out, you kind of get bombarded. But kids present to you with certain injuries or ailments, and you go about your full evaluation from your history and observation to your plan, and can communicate that to the parent as well as potentially referring them to an orthopedic physician for further evaluation.
And that's really important that we want to get out, that to let parents know that we have that tool, that skill to evaluate injuries, and they don't always have to run off to the emergency room. They have a professional person on site to do these things. Another skill that is very, very important is the prevention aspect. Mollie, talk a little bit about preventative things in sports medicine.
Well, at the beginning of the season, some of our athletic trainers at the schools, they implement prevention protocols. I know I think Granby High School, they have an ankle sprain prevention protocol that Riley, the athletic trainer, uses with her basketball teams to help to limit the amount of ankle sprains that happen. And we've had several athletic trainers implement different varying prevention protocols with different sports specific to injuries that usually happen in those sports.
Brice, another key area for the athletic trainer that parents don't always know is the rehabilitative aspect. Talk a little bit about rehab.
Yeah, in Norfolk Public Schools, we have coming from out of state, originally from Pennsylvania, walking into a high school setting, I wasn't sure what to expect, and I'm honestly quite amazed at the technology that Norfolk Public Schools has as far as rehabilitative equipment, ultrasound machines, stim machines, game ready, and then we can also, besides from the modalities, provide manual therapies that most athletic trainers should possess, along with ODU certifying us with Graston technique, which is a type of myofascial release. Those are just some quick, brief things that athletic trainers can do as far as rehab.
Yeah, and the thing that we want to point out is you do a lot of these rehab services at the school. They don't have to go out to physical therapy
That's a great point.
charge their health insurance and pay their premium. So we're able to save a lot of money for parents with our in-house programs. So,
And time.
And time. That's very important. Molly, talk a little bit about emergency care that an athletic trainer can provide.
Well, all of our athletic trainers go through emergency training in their undergrad and even some in the master's programs. Everything from spine boarding to acute care of blood injuries or fractures. They're all trained in pretty much any situation that can happen. Each site and school has an emergency action plan already set in place so that anyone who's at that school knows the avenue of which to handle any sort of emergency.
Yeah, I mean, emergencies are going to happen, and having somebody on campus at the practice, at the game is critical. And so, we really appreciate all the athletic trainers when that stress level goes out, you have somebody there that's professional that can handle those situations. Another big area is organization and administration. Molly, talk a little bit about athletic trainers, and Brice chime in on some of those skills.
Well, it definitely takes a lot of organization for our athletic trainers. We have several teams going, sports happening at the same time. Every student athlete needs a pre-participation physical. They need to go through concussion education. They need to have a neurocognitive impact test for concussions. So it takes a lot of preparation on the athletic trainer's part to make sure that every student is eligible in that respect. And then they have to be eligible as far as grades. And the athletic directors really work together with the athletic trainer to make sure that all bases are covered before our student athletes are able to participate.
And Brice, you're in your second year. Talk a little bit about that organization administration. Was it kind of overwhelming? You guys have done a nice job with some implementation of some programs. So,
Yeah, I mean, we have the resources to go about facilitating, proper doctor referrals, but with that comes, completing insurance forms and making sure those things are completely filled out all the way, and facilitating those things with the parent.
Yeah, I mean, all important stuff. So a lot of people, they don't see those things happening. Molly, Brice, a lot of good information today. Appreciate you coming down here to talk about athletic training, promoting the profession. It's needed. We'll see you out on the fields, and thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
More NPS Now after this.